But it's really important to understand our aim is, one hand, of course, to have as many Czech bands as possible outside, but our aim is really to prepare to not just support, but to invest in music. We have several projects. We try to have some quite simplified names. One is SoundCzech Connect, which is a project that aims to have bands. The aim for that project was to have an exchange concerts in which you have a partner, a touring partner, you go abroad, you have a gig there, and you have a gig here in Czech Republic.
I was working many parts of the music industry. I was working for a club, I was working as a road and a monitor engineer for a pop band in the 90s, the end of the 90s. And I was working for a club, and from the club I became the program coordinator of the SIGET. So you need to be prepared to have these things already, because if you're chosen, that you have to run around and find a photographer and so on. The main topic of this workshop was, it was for bands who want to apply to perform on festivals, maybe international festivals. So I try to give some advices how to apply, how to find the proper contact, how to make your biography, press photos and so on, what is necessary to have to be professional and to apply for a festival.
What form of biography you prefer?
It's a text. It's a text in PDF. Maybe there is a picture or a logo, which is also good. It's a good idea. So maybe you have a logo, but it's good. It should be like A4.
Publishing is basically administration. You're paying somebody to do an admin job for you. There's another element of publishing which is creative, and a lot of the publishing deals that people do, they're just, the reason I think a lot of people sign publishing deals is they don't know what publishing is. The old business model collapsed, that everything fell apart from how things were done 25 years ago. Music publishing is really old. It's from the printing press, it's from developing ways of sharing and distributing compositions and lyrics. That's the piece of the music industry that's maybe been the least disrupted by digital. So everything's fallen apart. It's up to you guys now to rearrange the blocks in a new business model. Maybe we'll talk a bit later today or tomorrow.
My name is Damian Ekman. I came from Poland, from Hand to Band company. And I was talking about PR and branding new bands and old bands, how it works, how it should work in the modern music industry.
And then the sound that you said. So there's 4 factors that Damian's weaving together here into the brand. There's the style. What are they wearing? What's their? How do they roll? What do they look like? How do they accentuate themselves? The sight, which is slightly different, so it's like, what is the video looking like, what is the sleeve looking like that may be designed by someone else, the sound and the story, and you've been weaving the story. All those 4 things come together into the brand. So the basic question is, to either of you two, do you need a record label?
Depends. It depends on different stuff, because you're gonna have a label if you need it, but you don't always need the label, because, for example, you have strong audience who can support your records, your material. So.
Also, it depends where is your market, as we talked yesterday. Also, if you are approaching or aiming internationally or locally. Also, the recording industry part of music business changed the most in the West in last 10 years. And in our countries, in our territory, the changes didn't come so fast, but they're happening now.
The biggest challenge, I think, for the audience here has been how they take responsibility for themselves rather than looking for a manager, a label, a publisher, or someone who's going to do stuff for them. Those people will come, the booking agent will come and help them after they've developed their own career. So it's really difficult for artists at the moment that rather than just saying, here is my music, does a professional spot how good it is, they've got to go out and build an audience, develop an audience themselves, and that's what will bring the business professionals in to work with them. So I think we're going to go into a massive period of turbulence for indie labels, and self-releasing artists like Chance the Rapper and major labels might have the best of the next few years. Who knows? Pay attention to it, but be really careful where some of you might have grown up with perceptions of cool indie labels. You really need to see if they're across all of this integrated marketing activity. So develop stuff, build trust locally, build your networks locally, start to make connections. If you're lucky enough to go as the artist, or if you go into a conference, don't just go there to play if you're the artist, go there as the manager.
Use all the single opportunity, no matter if you're a musician, manager, to go to network, to meet people, to be kind. You have to actually communicate. If you're in music, you're actually cursed to completely and continuously communicate.
It was really good with the audience. A lot of them are artists, a lot of them don't realise that they're managing themselves, but they are. So it was great to hear their stories and their insights onto the difficulties that they're facing and what they're looking for in terms of growing and building. And there was a lot of hunger in the room, a lot of ambition, and obviously they're putting this much time into coming and learning more and more about their business. They obviously have a lot of faith in their music, and certainly the music that I've heard from them is of a very high standard.
These workshops actually that happen now in cooperation with the International Music Managers Forum was, from our point of view, a beautiful exposure, like what can happen with Czech music. We've been speaking about the 4 pillars of music job. We are really happy to work and to connect artists on one hand, but on the other hand, in order to get success abroad, we have to learn the do's and the don't do's of the business.